account for a whole lot of, high percentage of our businesses. So I think all Africa need to do more because our numbers should be a positive momentum for us to actually do more in terms of business. And you also look at the countries you reel out, mentioning from South Africa. I think, for me, if you ask me, I think South Africa is much more better economically because, they are doing well in financial. That's a serious one. That means they can easily manage their economy very well to their own positive and to a good positive externalities. That's a good one. Then they still do more into mine, which is natural resources. And if you look at that
sorry, when you say financials, you mean the banking sector?
Yes, the banking sector, which is a good one. That means they're actually using, that means there's a business going on, there's a good trade going on, there's a loan, a lot of things are working for them, and that's a good sign for an economy. So then if you go to let's look at Ethiopia, I think that's a very good one too, because if you look at Nigeria, we're having more money in service sector compared to agriculture and industry, which is not a good one, because some of them could be portfolio investment that may not translate to good foreign direct investment or to bringing about employment. They could be trading on capital markets, and you say, yeah, that will not help the economy. But for like Ethiopia, they are doing exports, of agricultural produce. That's a very good one. And for Suskana, who do not want to take advantage of the environment? So because there's a passage, for Egypt, so they are doing more of taxation, more of tourism. They are attracting wealth. Then let's now come back to oil, Nigeria and Algeria. For me, when you say people are making it from oil, I just see it as how do I call it? An economy that doesn't really get its place very well, because you must diversify to an extent to make sure that your economy have it. Because if there's any shock from OPEC, it will affect the economy.
But if, let's move away from Africa and go down to Europe.
Right.
Russia, one of their major sources of income is the fact that they export gas, literally, and that's what they use to, for some of these countries to power their lights and all that comes from Russia. That's why when the Ukraine war happened, they were floundering looking for other alternatives.
That's a refined natural gas and refined petroleum products.
Okay.
If not for Dangote that just came in, and do we sell any refined product? It's what the implication is that when people come from outside, buy your, we call it rentier economy. We are managing rentier economy before, whereby people will come and buy from you. They determine how much they buy. They take it and refine. They still determine how much you are going to buy. So you don't have any benefit. So, and when you don't have that value addition, just like Dangote is doing now, we also hear that the Port Harcourt refinery, the small one, so to say, the old one, so to say, is also helping. So that's when you now say you are benefiting from. Look at South Africa. That mining, they are not selling raw. They are adding value to it. The value chain is well tapped. Until Africa starts to tap that value chain, that's when we benefit. All those other African countries that is not performing well, I can tell you they have natural resources, but it's being exported raw. These are the problems.
Okay. So yes, from our intro, we see that these 5 countries make $1.4 trillion, which is half of the $2.8 trillion that Africa is out of 50-something countries.
That's not good at all. Countries. That's not good at all. That's a serious issue. And I don't know how we are going to move beyond that level. And that's why AU have a lot of challenges beyond even ECOWAS and other regional. But there must be an integration whereby there could be trade will flourish. Because in between Africa, if there's a good trade in between Africa, it would have even give us much more income compared to what we are seeing. And you can see that those that are actually doing well, they're also high in population. So does it mean population is now a determinant of productivity, which is not correct? Country could be as like 5 million and they can generate more. Look at country like UK.
If we say that population, then I think Nigeria, being the most populous black nation, should outdo South Africa.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's a population.
No, what I'm trying to say is that if you look at it very well, if you look at Ethiopia, look at Egypt, look at Nigeria, even look at Algeria, there's population in these countries. So maybe I'm now saying that shouldn't be a factor. You know, you could be a small country and you could be doing very, very fine if you manage what you are doing very well.
Yes, some of the rich countries in the world, as we see, the Netherlands apparently, where
Qatar.
you know, all those countries, they don't have very much population,
very
but they
much
manage
population,
their
yes.
resources very well.
And it's because they actually industrialize. That's another thing we need to look at. How many countries, if you even look at the best countries now, there are countries that are a bit industrialized. South Africa, you know, I think they are the best industrialized country in Africa. Egypt follows suit, then the giant of Africa. If at all, giants without, you know, really translating
no, we're
it.
still giants.
We are still giants, but we must
stick to it.
If you are giants, you should have do well more than Egypt and South Africa.
We're getting there. Life happens to all of us, and
we hope
we're
so.
getting back there.
We hope so.
Now we've brought up issue of diversification. So now, how can we diversify our economy to reduce reliance on specific sectors like oil, gas, or agriculture, and of course ensure more balanced growth across the